Today I will be using alcohol markers on vellum and creating two cards, one with really bold colors and the other with soft monochromatic hues. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome to Creative Coloring with Erum. Today I am going to use the ever favorite vellum with alcohol markers, and the first card that I am creating is super simple, quick and also really pretty. I will use the Craft Your Life Project Kit Bewitching Rose Stamp Set, and I will first prep a piece of vellum with anti-static powder and then stamp the image with embossing ink. Then I will cover this in pure white embossing powder and heat set. Make sure to heat set from behind the piece of vellum first and keep moving the heat tool so as not to warp the vellum. I will use the coordinating die to die cut the image out. You can also do this after coloring the image. I also want to show you the two marker colors I tried out on vellum. The light one is rouge and the darker pink hue is the cotton candy, which will look far better and will be more visible. But I was going for a very subtle look and a barely there shadow of color, so I chose the rouge. I will flip the vellum die cut and color on the back side of the image so I don't tint the white embossing powder. I will use a rouge marker and add this roughly along the outlines. I won't color anything completely except the rose, and this too just along the outlines, just to give it the hint of color and to show shadows. I will just add a hint of color to the leaves, base and flower centers, but my main focus will be the flower so that when I adhere it to the blush cardstock, it stands out slightly from its surroundings. Once I'm done with the image, I tell you it's super quick. It's one of those quick cards that you can whip up if you are in a hurry but want to give something really pretty to someone. I will then heat emboss the sentiment, and then I have with me the amazing glue tape and refills by Altenew. I will adhere the image with glue tape. Now here I will strategically apply the glue tape. Even though this is not visible, I will still be careful. I will show you another way to adhere vellum in a bit. Next I will cut off the excess overhanging bits. If you want, you can adhere the cut off pieces back on or just discard them. This is completely up to you. I usually use them, but this time I think the card looks absolutely complete and very pretty. I'm going to just leave it at that. It does look pretty, doesn't it? And I really like the blush cardstock and the softness of vellum over it. Now on to the next card. I think you'll like this one as well. For the second card, I heat embossed the image in rose gold embossing powder, and it has a beautiful shine. It looks really nice. This time I'm thinking of using autumnal colors and changing the layout slightly. I will first start by flipping the vellum. Then I will use a rubellite alcohol marker and color the entire rose with it. I will be careful not to go out of the lines, so the base layer of the rose is a rubellite and just rubellite. Then I will add a raspberry marker next to the lines, but remember to let the first layer completely dry. This coloring will not be perfect. You will get a mottled look, so if you're looking for perfect blending, don't. You can always flip the vellum panel and check how your coloring is progressing. It will be super helpful during this process. The last color I will add is Cosmic Berry, and this is where I will build my depth and shadows, which you can definitely do on vellum. You can do this by adding a stroke of pigment, or after you are done coloring the entire image, let it sit for a hot minute, wait for it to dry and add stippling to that area. I will get to that in a bit. For the yellow flowers, I will add the first layer of fresh lemon artist alcohol marker, which is quite vibrant. Then to this I will add honey drizzle just next to the flower center and spread it out to middle of the petal. The final color that I will add is Snapdragon, which I will then slightly blend out with honey drizzle, as the Snapdragon kind of looked like it ended abruptly. For the little berries like thingies, I will use marigold only. You can use any colors you like. I just had a couple of artist markers here with me and I picked random colors. For the leaves, I'll start with parrot and I will then add a blob of olive to the base, up to the mid of the leaf. I will then add stippling of moss. And you can see that I'm bringing this vellum panel closer to the screen. It's because I am only just blowing over the coloring to dry before adding the stippling. Now I will go back to the rows and add stippling to the nooks and crannies. I don't know if you can catch it as well in the video, but gosh, it is gorgeous in person. The texture is so good and the depth looked amazing. So I did the same for all the leaves and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I really hope you guys will try it, and just remember, the key is to let the layer before it dry. All the leaves with the stippling looked so beautiful that I took my time to add stippling to each and every leaf. And I think that stippling added so much to the image. I just thought that I'd repeat what I do with watercolor, and it kind of worked. Once I'm done coloring the image, I will stick the image onto a double-sided adhesive sheet by Altenew. This is not visible at all under Vellum, you guys, so it is perfect. I have done this several times before as well with Vellum, and it secures Vellum perfectly and die cuts well too. I will use the coordinating die to die cut the image and then move on to the background. By the way, I had no plans to work on the background. I just wanted to keep it simple. Very simple cream colored cardstock. But you know me that I love my watercolor backgrounds. So here we are. Adding some greens, yellows, orange and even a bit of pink to the cream colored cardstock. This is not watercolor cardstock, so for your card, use watercolor cardstock. Though you do not need a watercolor background, the image itself is quite colorful and would look very nice on a plain panel. Once done, I will dry the panel completely and add black paint splatters. I did try not to add the paint splatters where I will place the vellum, which is on the left hand side. Once the splatters dry, I will remove the backing of the adhesive and adhere the die cut. And voila, the card is ready and it looks so good. I love the texture. Look at that stippling. I absolutely love it, and I love that rose gold embossing powder too. Please try this and tag me if you do. I will love to see the result. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Hello there! Did that video just spark your creativity? And do you want more project ideas and inspiration videos too? Well, if you do, please make sure that you subscribe to the Altenew YouTube channel. Also, make sure that you do click that notification bell so you don't miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye!